We are back with Four Quarters of Believin, and we sure do have something to believe in. Drew's going to be throwing his wrist up here quite a few times during this podcast, but we're going to go to Eric here first. Eric was actually at the game, texted us afterwards. Shedeur throwing the wrist up after the game. But Eric, from what you saw, was there anything that you would actually change for this Browns Shedeur-led offense?
Yeah, let me first by start saying that the game plan was a solid one for a rookie quarterback starting his first ever game. I would start with that, have the run heavy first and the Wildcat in the red zone. Not sure why people are upset about the Browns scoring touchdowns on a play that works, but here we are. The Niners are 15th against the run and worse in the pass. So in terms of yardage per game. So I could see them getting opportunities to go down the field. It was such a sigh of relief, I guess. Seeing Shedeur stepping up and heaving that ball to Isaiah Bond on the other side of the field, and I knew that ball was going to get caught. I have not felt that way in quite some time. So that is something that he brings to the table. I would like to see what would they need to change is maybe a little more improvisational opportunities for Shedeur, extending those plays down the field, getting those receivers to not stopping their routes at 10, 5, 7 yards, continue further down the field. I could see Isaiah Bond doing what he did, almost getting that touchdown. Heck, even maybe Jerry Jeudy can make a catch, provided he has his head on straight. I feel like he has no friends in Cleveland, so I think if he were to score a touchdown, it would be a self high five. Um, so, there are multiple reads on the
That is
passing
so
plays.
forced. Oh my God.
There's multiple reads on passing plays. I feel like he can hit multiple levels. So give him those opportunities.
All right, Drew. Can you give us a diamond cutter's worth of information here?
Imagine what it could have been like 10 weeks ago. They had this the whole damn time. Nothing changed between August and now. The only difference is the best quarterback finally got a chance to play. I don't know if this is a testament or a detriment to Kevin Stefanski. I don't know where to go from here. All I know is they finally have a legitimate answer at the quarterback position. I hope they don't draft one in the first round at this point. I have seen enough now. I am a Shedeur homer. You can hate on me all you want to after one start, but this is, to borrow his words, the guy that we have been looking for. And you're damn right, I'm going to take this victory lap. I had a whole thing about the ground game that I was going to talk about, and forget it. All I'm going to do is put the wrists up and say, I want to see more of this.
I think when the NFL season kicks off, you've got the week one overreactions. Well, that doesn't exist when you're this far in the season. So no overreactions here. Let's go on to the second quarter. Drew, we'll go back to you. We just saw the 49ers play on Monday night. Brock Purdy, 3 interceptions, but they still win. Are the 49ers trending up towards the playoffs, or are they trending down?
Yeah, I think they're trending up. They've won 2 in a row, 20-9 versus the Panthers with 3 interceptions in the first half. 41 points against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a decent team. They're not terrible. The 49ers are still one of the most injured teams in football. This is 3 or 4 years in a row now, but they're starting to get healthy a little bit. Yeah, Brock Purdy had a terrible first half, 3 INTs, but he only missed 2 passes in the whole second half. McCaffrey's finally healthy. Brian Robinson Jr., the tag team partner, the Marty Jannetty of that team, but he still contributed 5.7 yards per carry last game. If Marty Jannetty's going to give you that, you're pretty good. Fan of the program and pro wrestling fan George Kittle. He had almost 80 yards versus the Panthers. Like, this is a good team. team. This is a well-coached team. This is 78 slide PowerPoint presentation man himself, Kyle Shanahan. For those of you who want to remember, 2013. He's not going to pull a WCW Raven and sit in the corner and beg to quit here. Like, this is a good team. This team is well coached. This team's trending up.
We're going to have basketball score here tonight. Eric, 49ers trending up or down?
If Brian Robinson's Marty Jannetty, then I hope Myles Garrett is Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Nice.
He gets him thrown through the window. But I will go with secret door number 3 and say they are kind of treading water, leveling out. They started 3-0. They are now 5-4 since. So, they have been without Brandon Ayuk, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and to a lesser extent, guy I wanted in the draft, Yetur Gross-Matos. The wins in that stretch were against the Panthers, the Cardinals, the Giants, the Falcons, and the Rams. Latter is a Super Bowl contender. All the other ones are not good teams this year. Maybe the Panthers are kind of fugazi, kind of looking good, but they're not good. They also lost to the Rams, Texans, Buccaneers, and Jaguars. All of those teams are playoff hopeful teams or playoff eligible teams in a few weeks. So the Browns record may not currently reflect it, but there's an opportunity for a win at this game. That's not something I would have said a couple weeks ago, but things change. I feel a lot better. So I only have to ask, can you dig it, sucker?
You gave me those points, and I deserve them. That is an outrageous. That is a live here in Canton, Ohio. Force pop nonsense.
We've evened it out here at halftime. Let's move on to the third quarter. Yes, everyone is focused on Shedeur Sanders, but Myles Garrett continues to potentially have a record-breaking season. Do the 49ers have what it takes to slow him down? Will he have, let's put the over-under, I don't know what the actual over-under is, but 1.5 sacks for Myles Garrett. Drew, who you got here?
Yeah, message to Trent Silverback Williams and Colton McKivitz here. You can't see me is what Myles is definitely going to be saying. Now I say that knowing that Trent Williams is a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Potentially first ballot Hall of Famer. He's still playing at a high level, and Colton McKivitz, like he's not exactly a household name, but he just got a 3-year, $45 million extension in August. This is probably the best set of offensive tackles that the Browns have gone against this year. Now, you say that, but Myles Garrett is not of this world. 18 sacks in 11 games. He only needs 5 sacks in the next 6 games to break the record held by Michael Shanahan and some other guy. I forget his name. That probably nobody's heard of him, but in terms of the over-under here, 1.5 is a really good line. Hat tip to Ryan. I'm going to take the under, unfortunately. You would go broke betting against Myles Garrett, but that is, to get 2 sacks against 2 really good offensive tackles in a game the Browns may very well be trailing for most of the game, that is going to be a tall order. So I'd love to see it, but I'm going to take the under.
Eric, who do you got here?
Yeah, I want to take the over, but I also think I have the under, and that's not really a reflection of Myles Garrett and his play. I think a lot of his teammates are going to be helping him out. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to throw the kitchen sink on the edge to try to prevent Myles, but you have players like Malik Collins, Mike Hall Jr., and Mason Graham, who combined for 3 sacks last week. Isaiah McGuire and Devin Bush each had a sack. Now that just shows you that they can get pressure up the middle and on the edge opposite Myles and on the next level behind Myles. Something we kind of consistently have not seen in at least 2 years, if not much further back. So I expect Myles to kind of help out with other aspects of this game. I mean, they still have Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle to can be concerned about. So I think he's going to have to focus, not only on pass rushing formations, but like what else is going to be happening on the plays, especially on the edge to start out. So keep an eye out for tackles for loss outside of quarterback and forced fumbles. He had 2 last week, 1 being recovered. So he's going to make his impact in other ways, but I don't expect him to go exceed the 1.5 sacks this week.
I love seeing Mike Hall Jr. and Mason Graham a lot more against the Raiders here in this past game. Hopefully we see the same. I love that idea. Let's move on to the fourth quarter. Believe or bail. A little bit of a controversy of Shedeur not getting the game ball. Eric, does he get the game ball? Does it matter?
Well, it doesn't matter, but there's definitely a possibility of happening this week. You know, the difference is playing a 2-8 team last week versus an 8-4 team in this contest. If he can manage the game, make some plays, I can see him deserving and earning a game ball in the locker room. The problem is they're facing a very good team, and it's a tough task. So it's kind of hard to keep up with Shanahan and his offense, but that's what Shedeur is going to have to do. I expect him to continue to excel and improve his play, get those chunk yards that we saw last week. However, there is also film on him now. I know you could pretty much throw away the Ravens tape, but there was, a full game that we just witnessed that Robert Saleh is going to have to kind of, work on. Hey, they're not going to just be throwing 5-yard outs the whole game. They can actually throw it deep. So I would expect them to start loosening up a coverage a little bit, but that doesn't mean he still can't hit guys underneath. I think they're going to make it difficult for him. I think he's going to be up for the task. I think I can see this game being a close one, but at the end of the day, maybe he's just going to win the Intercontinental belt and maybe not the heavyweight belt this week, but soon for Shedeur.
Okay, with that, Drew, what do you think?
Yeah, to get a game ball, you have to win the game. You play to win the game. The Browns are 5-point dogs at home. They're coming off of the first road victory they've had in like 2 years. So, like, for them to win this game, they would have to have a really special talent at quarterback. You're damn right he gets the game ball. Put your wrists in the air. This is for real. You are allowed to feel a certain type of way about this team, but do not take that out on the starting quarterback. He has been here for 1 damn week that he's had a chance to practice with the ones, and all he did was light it up when he finally got his chance. You are allowed to feel excited about this team finally for the first time in about 3 years, and you are going to see a coronation at home against the 49ers, against a well-coached team, against a team with a winning record, against a team that's going to the playoffs. You're going to see the dawning of a new era in Cleveland. A shiny new era is tiptoeing nearer. I'm going to borrow Scar, and I can't wait to be the bad boys of the AFC North once again. It all starts Sunday. You should watch. You are allowed to be excited about this team again.
Well, we hit the over. Drew, what's your Monday morning headline?
Thankful for Shedeur. Browns shock the world, win 2 in a row.
I've been watching some Juwan Jennings highlights. I'm going to go for my headline. I'm going to go Browns deliver shattered dreams to Niners playoff hopes. Go Browns!
Go Browns!
Go Browns.